Emmanuel Lebert pour le petit journal Canal+, French TV. Unfortunately, I didn't see the movie. I was in a plane from Paris to... Oh, sorry, yeah. So, exactly. I have two small questions. I know that you really love Italia and you have a house in Como, I think. So you're quite citizen. What do you think of Berlusconi issue right now? And my second question is, will you plan to come to France very soon? Thank you.
Don't ask me any Sarkozy questions then. I stay out of Italian politics so I can stay in my house in Como. I think it's probably the smart thing to do. I haven't planned to buy a place in France, but I have friends there that I visit every once in a while, and I do enjoy it while I'm out there. I visit Brad a lot with Matt, and we just boil up and have fun. So anyway, I do the France issue. I go there as often as possible. I think it's actually really beautiful.
Hey, how are you? Jason, first of all, I saw you using your iPhone. You're on Twitter. I follow you on Twitter. I know 75,000 people asked you already how was it working with George Clooney, so I won't ask that. But what do you think of Twitter and using that as a mechanism in the world now? And for George, I've been interviewing you many times, but you're not doing TV interviews anymore. Is that because of, and I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm also from the Netherlands, stupid questions like this lately, you know? And the other thing is, you've been working with Anton Corbijn, maybe you can just tell me a little bit.
Well, first of all, working with Anton Corbijn is a joy. He's just a tremendous talent and a wonderful artist, and I'm having a really good time working with him. I've done less and less interviews because I've found that doing interviews for films in general doesn't end up answering any questions about the films, and it doesn't really help the film. Usually I end up answering some dumbass question from some dumbass from the Netherlands. It ends up becoming stories that will be repeated. You guys all sort of understand this. I think you are fighting the good fight, most of you, which is you're put in a position where you're forced to ask questions because your magazine subscriptions are getting smaller and the world is getting smaller and harder to find an audience. I understand why all those happen, but I don't necessarily want to participate in it. I am the son of a newsman. I grew up with a newspaper man and an anchor man as a father, and I've seen sort of how it works and what it does. And I don't mind the stories in gossip magazines, but I worry about when they lead into legitimate news, and that's been happening a lot lately. So those are concerns, and that's probably why I've done less interviews. It was just because, not for actually personal questions, just because I don't really see it helping the film. I think it actually hurts the film, because they don't ask questions about the movie. So.